Hello everyone, my name is Sean Hornby. I was an examiner in China for 5 or 6 years working with the British Council, and today we're going to talk about some writing tips for you and how you can do much better on the IELTS test. The 4 criterion that we have for the writing test: first, there is task achievement, then there is cohesion and coherence, then there's lexical resource, and then there's grammatical accuracy. The first problem that students have that's most common is the task achievement, and most students get that one wrong, and if they were to get that one correctly, then they would actually increase themselves from maybe a 5.5 to a 6. To improve yourself, firstly, with task achievement, you can first try to use some paraphrasing, like using similar words instead of just copying the question down. That will help you a lot. Secondly, you can rearrange the grammar structure of the sentence. If it's like an active sentence, you can make it into a passive sentence by putting the object first and then your subject secondly. And then another way is to try to explain what you're being told to do. For task 2, it's good to keep in mind that everyone shouldn't use some unverifiable facts. So if you, instead of saying 50% of people, you say half of the people would agree with this and the other half would disagree. Or if it's around 70, 80%, then you can say most people would say this rather than using specific numbers, because sometimes when I was marking scripts, I thought that a lot of things were being made up and it just seemed like it was artificial. Okay, there are 2 other ways that people make easy mistakes that can be easily fixed in task 1 and task 2. The first thing is they have a run-on sentence, so we have to identify where the sentences are. In this case, on one hand, health is important if you wish to live long. That's a complete thought right there, so that should have a period. And then the next one is good health leads to an active lifestyle. On the other hand, definitely there's a period there. Okay, then the next thing is identifying the commas. On one hand, this is a linking phrase, so you want to put it, if it's at the beginning of the sentence, you want it there, and then over here on the other hand. Then the next thing is at the beginning of every sentence, you must have capital letters. So make sure that the O fills double the space as the lowercase. So we have on one hand here, and good should be this form over here. Okay, another problem that people have is that they don't paraphrase enough. So paraphrasing is very important in IELTS. If you're able to paraphrase a lot, you can get a higher score. And one way to do that is actually when you're analyzing the question prompt, you can change some of the words. Now, many can be changed into other forms. For example, a lot of. Okay, that's one way of saying many. And informally, you can say tons of. Of course, the last one is plenty of. Okay, and then there are others here. Instead of people, you can say folks, or you can say that maybe people who live in the countryside, more specifically, might be farmers, okay, or country folk. So that's another way that you can show that you can use other types of words and paraphrase them. Here's another one over here. Urban actually means city. Okay, you can also say city center. or you can say downtown or uptown. Okay, so that's one way of using paraphrasing to get a higher score. If you keep repeating the same words that are in the prompts, you're not going to get a very good score. So one way to improve your chances is to show to the examiner that you have a variety of vocabulary that you're using. Yeah, some people like to copy down some of the example questions, but make sure that when you're copying down those essays, that you're getting them from a reputable site like the British Council or IDP, because there might be some examples that may not be as what they claim to be. There might be some scripts that they'll say is an 8 when in fact it's a 6. So be careful when you are choosing and where you get them from. But it's always a good idea to copy some down, especially from some good reputable IELTS former examiners who are on YouTube, and watch how they transform like a 6 into an 8 or something like that. So I'm going to give you 3 different tips on how you can improve your writing and do much better on the exam. So the first thing that I tell my students is that reading is the most important thing for their speech and for their writing. Why? Because it provides good models for you to use in your writing, and you will begin to see the pattern of English and how grammar works, and you will see lots of examples of idiomatic English that will improve your chances in both the speaking and the writing tests. So reading is important. Second thing, when you're writing the exam, double space. And why do I say double space? Because double spacing gives you room to correct your mistakes, and also make sure that you're using a pencil so it's easy to erase as well. But if it's a whole sentence, then you can just cross it out and then write the correct sentence above, and the examiner will not take marks off for that. And then lastly, pace yourself. Give yourself some time at the end of the test, the last like 2 or 3 minutes, to proofread and go over and correct your mistakes. So I hope today that I've given you some really good tips for you to improve your chances on the IELTS test. And I think some of these things are very simple things that you can do to improve your scores. And they're the most common mistakes that people make. And if they just make those little changes, it may make a big difference. So if you like our video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again.